this big height. Now notice how many little cosmetic flaws, little bug bites and brands. This is what we usually cut around. So scratch and dent, we take all those that we cut around and we use the hides that have too many flaws so we can reduce our waste, and it gets you a product at 30% off, and it helps us get rid of all this scrap instead of going to landfill, and it's live right now, so check out Scratch and Dent.
All right, I have a super duper cool unboxing today. Very rare Sam unboxing. I was gonna unbox a bunch of different stuff in this, like we usually unbox some shoes, some other pants, but I feel like this one's so in-depth it just needs its own full unboxing. Oh, you know what? I forgot a couple things. I'm gonna have to go get those. Pause 1 second. Okay, I'm back with the 3 things I needed. So, if you don't watch this channel, you're an idiot. So, watch the channel, I guess. If you skate, you know about the Nike Dunk. If you don't skate, you know about the Nike Dunk, but the skate versions of the Nike Dunks are so much better than the normal versions, and they always release these crazy collabs with either with people or skate shops or like certain things. Like a couple years ago when like the huge dunk craze just like blew up from like 2019 to 2024, really. There was that Ben & Jerry's Chunky Dunky dunk that was like off the chain, and they always release these crazy collabs. Every once in a while I will actually buy a dunk collab that I think is really cool. It's usually the ones that people don't like that much, which is sad. Like this limousine dunk made with the football leather is so sick to me. I was like, it's so weird, and it looks really good once it's been skated in for a while. Like once all of this leather starts getting like crazy scuffed, I just think it looks so good, because you know, it's like when your basketball or football that you have outside, or like the one you get at elementary school that's like the communal ball and just gets absolutely hammered. That's kind of what this looks like after it gets used for a while, which I think is so sick. So I really like this limousine dunk. I was about this dunk, it's the chameleon dunk that I just thought looked cool because it looked like dinosaur skin, and my wife really liked it, and I was like, this is so sick. I think it's technically chameleon. But I haven't skated, or I've worn this one a little bit. You can't see the creasing from where I've worn it. I've never skated in it, but I'm pretty sure this bleeds away to purple. I just thought this one was cool because it's like, it's such a weird concept. So we got something dunk related that I think is really sick. If you're familiar with David Bluetile, he is one of the coolest, nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. So David Bluetile, he's got his own little YouTube channel. He unboxes stuff. He always gets the coolest shoes because he runs a skate shop in South Carolina. One of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life, and they got, because Nike will bless your shop with a collab and like a cool colorway, and then it might get blown up. Say what you want about Nike, they do support the skate shops that carry them. So the whole story with this collab is it's about a journey. Specifically, one of David's employees, Irving, is from Mexico and then immigrated to South Carolina, has been there for 10 years, is an integral part of the Bluetile shop. I think he's a manager now, which seems like a homie. I've never actually met Irving, but you know, if David likes you that much, David is such a good person that of course Irving's gonna be the sickest person ever. So the whole story was about immigration. Let me unbox this because I want to tell my own immigration story, because I grew up in Utah. We're in Utah right now. The whole state has pioneer ancestors that came over and crossed the borders to find new territory, new land. So everyone here has some sort of connection to immigration, and I have a crazy story that I think is super sick that's very fitting for this shoe. So I guess I'm just gonna unbox this first, and then we'll go from there. What knife am I using? I'm using this Naf's Lander, and I didn't know we had this. I saw this sitting in our big box of Nafs that we have, and I was like, I love rainbow trout. I've been fishing rainbow trout my whole life, and I just like the scales of this. I think it's very pleasing, and I like it. So anyways, let's get on with this unboxing. Big fan of Nafs. I think they're a local Utah company as well, and this knife is so sharp, it's crazy. It's so satisfying. Oh, that was a bad cut though. Whew. What's crazy is this box is big, and it's also like super hefty. I have no idea what it was. A couple months ago, David texted me, he's like, yo, I got a surprise for you, and I was like, oh, I think I know what it is, but then this got here and it's like super duper heavy, and I have no idea what it is. Ooh. Bubble wrap. All right, let me stand up for this. Rose Anvil. Shout out to David Bluetile, one of the nicest dudes ever. This is nuts. What am I doing? I have a knife. Oh, this is sick. Holy cow. So I did kind of spoil the surprise for myself because he just put out a video about what this is today, because I would have no idea what this is. Oh, this is tight. Oh, I think our hinges got a little broken in shipping. That's fine. Luckily, we work in a shop and can fix this. So, what the heck is this? I don't know how to explain what this is. Should I unbox everything first and then figure out what this is? Oh, that does stink. The hinges definitely got destroyed. This is an easy fix, don't stress. So I guess I'll unbox this because there's stuff inside of here. All right, let me unbox the shoe and then we'll get into everything. There's just so much cool stuff in here, I don't know where to start. Oh, we got the internal paper. I believe this is hand printed in their own, like Bluetile has a little print shop that they also run. I think they made all of this for this drop. This is pleasing. And we got, ooh, I did it backwards. Nike SB. Okay, is there anything else in there? No. Bluetile loves Rose Anvil. Are you kidding me? It's personalized? That's sick. Rose Anvil loves Bluetile. Are you kidding me? I first met him when we went out to New Balance to do all the stuff with the Andrew Reynolds interviews that we did with New Balance. And it was like, I've just been emailing him before that. And he comes out just like, we just started talking like I've known this dude for like 10 years. I was like, he's just the nicest guy, the easiest guy to get along with. So, you probably know what's in here by this point, but let's unbox it. Oh, sick. Got the little South Carolina. I believe this is just like a cool mosaic. He's very inspired. I think, I've been watching all his videos, I think he's really inspired by like the sunsets of Mexico and the monarch butterflies, because the monarch butterflies immigrate from Mexico to the US every single year. We've got the Nike SB with the heart, the Bluetile heart. Ooh. This is actually so sick. All right, I'm hyped. I've been hyped on these, just seeing them around, but I'm even more hyped getting them in person. And you get tons of cool stickers. But this is a nice touch. This is a really good unboxing experience. You got that nice, look at this. That's cool. This is cool. Way to go, man. I don't know, because I feel like there's different levels. All of these Nikes that I bought, like the ones I just showed you, none of them have had as much stuff in them as this, and like as many details there's going on in this one. This is crazy. All right, so what do you get? We got our Bluetile sticker, which is sick. We got the Nike SB Bluetile Monarch. We got the Bluetile. Oh, we got the Nike SB, the heart and the square. That's like their logo. Man, this is sick. These are some good touches in here. And what do we have here? We have the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro QSBT. So this is their collab, their Dunk collab. And it is cool as heck. This is way cooler in person. So I don't get hyped up for too many Dunks that often. And this one I've been seeing, I was like, this is just so sick. Like, there's so many things about it that I really like. I was almost tempted to just go buy one, and then this showed up. So shout out to Bluetile. All right, so before we get into it, it's all based on the Monarch butterfly. You see, you got the wings right there with the butterfly. You have like this kind of like more buggy print. I believe this is a print on suede. And you got this shiny thing. Oh, you got the butterfly print. You got the butterfly coming through the toe holes there. I don't know if this shines through. I think it's 3M. There's 3M that makes it reflect. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it unless I turn all the lights off. Then you got the fuzzy laces. Look at all these crazy laces in here. So one thing that David asked me to do, of course, was to share the immigrant stories, because this whole shoe is about immigration and how everyone has a connection to immigration and like creating like safe spaces in your community because everyone's an immigrant at some point. And I have a story. It's my great grandma, I believe, and she immigrated 3 different times, at least 3 different times to get to America. I had all my notes. I called my mom to get all the notes about this because the story is so insane. I got my notes here to keep track of everything I'm saying. So my immigration story is also very connected to Rose Anvil somehow, and I didn't even know. So my great-great-great-grandma, Cecilia Petersdotter Svedin, she was born in Sweden in 1832. Her first husband was a Svedin, and he was actually a blacksmith, and he was employed by the government. And so they had a couple kids. He died, unfortunately, so she remarried. And then when she remarried, she moved to Denmark. So that's her first immigration move. She went from Sweden to Denmark. Not that crazy of an immigration, but she still did. Where she got her second husband, and they had a footwear and leatherworking repair shop, which is crazy to think that that's in my heritage, which is really funny. But she joined the Mormon church, the LDS church, and then everybody in the town kicked her out of that town. They took everything in the shoe repair shop and threw it out into the streets, just kind of destroyed the shop and kicked them out of that town. So they moved to Copenhagen, where that husband died, and she got a job in a sewing factory where she lost her left arm from the elbow down in the factory. And one of her sons from the first marriage had already emigrated to America. And after she lost her arm, the factory paid her something. They paid her for losing her arm. And in turn, she took that money. Her son was already in Utah, so she was able to get to Utah. She didn't come through Ellis Island because it was just a couple years before Ellis Island happened. So she got to Salt Lake City and she worked for a very wealthy family. She was kind of their cleaning lady or like their house servant. And then she ended up marrying that guy. And then he died and he left her some money when he died, I guess. So after that husband died, she was walking near a railroad and a cinder somehow, I don't know if it was caused by the railroad, the story's a little bit unclear, but a cinder came up and took one of her eyes out. So she's this older lady, she's missing an arm, she's missing an eye. After that, she ended up moving to Elsinore, which is just down in Sevier County in Utah. She ended up getting a little farm and she had like a hen house, and she's this old, like 89-year-old lady, and a fox got into a hen house and she was out there with a hatchet getting the fox out of the hen house, which I thought was really funny. Just this old lady, one eye, one arm, wielding a hatchet, getting her out of here. She's had all this crazy life story. And then after that, they had a flood. It was super rainy. She was out all night in the rain dealing with the flood, and everyone thought that was gonna kill her, but it didn't because she was super tough. And eventually she got scraped on some barbed wire, got an infection, and that's how she died, unfortunately. So after all of that, it was like this crazy immigrant story of like, she went through 5 husbands, lost an arm, lost an eye, was out doing everything until she was 89 years old and finally died of an infection. And the whole time, everyone was quoted saying her, she's the happiest person in the world. She always is everywhere with a smile. She always said she had so many blessings. Everyone just commented on how cheerful and how happy she was. And so it was like, that's my immigrant story, because I thought it's just so, you go through all these crazy hardships to give yourself a better life, to give your kids a better life. You're doing all this insane stuff, and like through all that, you're just happy and cheerful and you're super hardworking, and you're like, well, yeah, I got to work for it because it's cool. So shout out to immigrants. Literally every single person, pretty much every single person in the world is an immigrant at some point. I don't know, it's just a cool story, and this whole shoe is focused around immigrants and like the whole monarch butterfly. The whole story about the shoe is super cool, and I think it's really cool what Bluetile has done and what David has done for Irving, his employee, to like tell the story. So after all of that, what is everything? So this box that this comes in is actually a butterfly box that you can put in your yard to like create a safe space for butterflies as they migrate to and from Mexico, or just have a nice place for butterflies in your yard. It's super cool. So some of the details on this box. Obviously right here you have the heart and the square, the Bluetile logo, and this is made out of the broken boards from Irving, because he skates, oh boy, I'm so sorry, Irving. He skates for a board company, and so they just took all of his old boards and inlaid them into these boxes. So we got the heart and the square here. We got all these little, we got all the details on the sides of the box. Just really cool. Everything about this is really cool. It's like, honestly, shout out to Nike for allowing them to have so much creative control over this collab, because this is like one of the most in-depth collabs I've seen ever. So details of this shoe, let's go through it here. We have obviously the fuzzy laces and the cool leather and the butterfly print here. He was saying, I think this is the first low top dunk with the wings, and you got the butterfly wings in there. Then what's really cool, on the back of it, it says Bluetile. Oh boy. You got blue and tile on the back, and then you have the other details of the monarch butterfly right there. I think he was calling them hot dogs in one of his videos, which I thought was really funny. Then on the bottom, you have this translucent rubber outsole. It's kind of a fade from orange to blue. I think he was saying it was like a Mexican sky, like a desert sky. It turned out super sick, because the orange foam is what you can see in here. It's making the orange is this midsole foam that they have. It's really just a bunch of cool little details. And then on the inside of the insoles, super cool. You got the whole monarch butterfly leaving and going here. You got the heart, the square Nike SB. So on the back, you have this cool little butterfly and hand logo here. I believe it's meant to be like, be gentle, like a butterfly landing on your finger, you know, just be chill, you know? So overall, this is probably one of the coolest dunk collabs I've ever seen. It's so detailed, it's unbelievable. And I feel like Nike doesn't do this with every single drop. Like, you get like one of these drops per year, and there's just so many details. You got the South Carolina flag logo right there. You got the Nike SB with all the best right there. He said it was meant to be like a protest sign, kind of like oversized and like hand drawn. Man, just really cool overall. And I'm pretty sure this box is just friends and family, so it's a huge honor to be included in this, because I was watching his video of all these boxes, and he's telling you stories of these people like, oh, they helped me out for 25 years I've been in business, they helped me out this way, this way, this way. And I was like, I don't even know how we're on that list. Like, thank you, David, for sending this to us. Like, it feels very special to be included in this at all. So shout out to David Bluetile, shout out to Irving. Honestly, shout out to Nike SB on this one, because this has some of the most details of any shoe possible. Hopefully people can get it. Skate your dunks. I'm a big proponent of skating your dunks. I have some details for you on release dates. Gotta look at my messages from David here. So the rest of the world releases tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. These sneakers release at 10 a.m. on the 12th. So I'm recording this on the 7th. So it looks like everything's gonna go live this weekend. Probably already be live by the time this video actually comes out. I'll try and edit it as fast as I can. I think they retail for like $135, which with the amount of crazy details and changes in here is pretty nuts. Anyways, go check these out. Go support David Bluetile. He sends us shoes all the time. Nicest person in the entire world. Love David Bluetile. Keep going. 25 years in business as a skate shop is absolutely insane. So keep going and check these out and get them while you can. Our shop next door is getting them Time Machine. You can enter a raffle for them there. They're probably already all gone. Thank you, David Bluetile, and go check these out if you can. Get them while you can. I think they're going to be a pretty hot commodity. Everyone's been like, this is one of the best dunks of the entire year. This is going to be one of the biggest releases of the next couple years, and I think I agree, because it's really sick, and there's just so many details that are so cool. Yeah, there you go. That's it for me. I was going to unbox other stuff, but I feel like this took up enough time, so anyways, peace.